Okay, hey y'all, Tia Skipper here. I want to do a video really quickly talking about transition. The first thing that came to mind was Lauryn Hill's lyrics, "You know the truth by the way it feels." You know the truth by the way it feels. And the reason why I'm sharing it is because many of us have been taught not to trust ourselves. We've been taught largely to trust and to look for external signs, right? Like, did you see synchronicities? Did you see something with the name on it? Did you see your birthday on the clock? Did you see 222? Did you see, like, we're all taught to really, really look at these external signs or to ask for a sign. Like, Lord, if you love me, let me see butterflies, all of that, right? And it's not to say that those signs aren't given or that there's not information you can get from those synchronicities. But the original place of information is within you. That's the original place. That is genuinely the safest place to get your information, because anything outside of you can be changed, manipulated, or set up to make you see a certain thing. We already know how algorithms work now, right? So people who are watching my videos, our algorithms don't look the same. There are certain things that I may not even be aware of that you're absolutely aware of, because that's what your algorithm is based on. And so we're all living in worlds where our social media is tailored to exactly what we want to see, exactly what we're looking up, exactly what we're self-conscious about, exactly what we want reassurance on. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's happening in reality in our outer world. That's just your social media world, right? So I'm doing this video to say, if you've been asking for a sign, like, how do I know if I should move on from here? How do I know if I should let this go? How do I know if I should take this job? How do I know if I should do whatever it is that I'm doing? I'm going to repeat the lyrics to you. The lyrics say, you know the truth by the way it feels. Now, let me clarify that further, because some people can say, well, you know, you can't trust your feelings because feelings get you in trouble. Facts. So what I'm not talking about is, I'm not talking about feelings or emotions. I'm not talking about emotions. I'm talking about a constant sensing that something is off. I'm talking about a constant sensing that something is over. I'm talking about a constant sensing, no matter how much you try to make something work, or especially with like people, you keep trying to make this relationship work, you try to make this friendship work, but you still know you don't trust this person. You still feel like something gets off. You still feel like this, like, it is that staying sensing in your spirit. I'm not talking about emotions to where you just don't want to be bothered with nobody today, and so you feel like I should cut everybody off. I'm not talking about that. That's a fleeting thing. I'm talking about the feeling that keeps coming back, the feeling that you haven't been able to shake, the feeling that it's still there after you keep doing all kind of stuff to make different things work. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the sensing, that same sense you get when you walk into a room and it just feels weird, kind of feel like people was talking about you when you walked in. That feeling. I'm talking about that sensing when you just feel like something is off. You can't tell why. You don't know where the root of this is coming from, but you know something is off. I'm talking about that sensing when somebody told you something, but it won't rest in your spirit. It keeps coming up. It feels like a lie, and you don't really know why they would lie to you. You don't know why you can't really let this thing go. You don't know why the story don't really feel like it's adding up. Right? It's something in you that will not rest. When you have unrest about something, it shows up in your sensing. You can feel it in your body. So if you never see the butterflies come, if whatever external sign you've asked for, if you never see that, if you've never seen that, if you never see the synchronicities, if no one ever preaches a sermon, or you never hear a podcast, or you never see a quote that pinpoints exactly where you are, your main station of guidance, your main protective center, your main safe space to hear and to know what is right for you is in you. And what a safe space to put that, because no one can reach that. No one can tamper with it. The only thing someone can do is try to convince you not to trust it. That's the only thing they can do. But they can't stop you from sensing, feeling, and hearing. And that's why it's so important to guard your heart and guard your mind, guard your ears. The moment you feel like you're dealing with someone who's a gaslighter or someone who has narcissistic tendencies, and I'm not just talking about in intimate relationships, I'm talking about friendships too. The moment you feel like you are engaging with somebody who would try to play with your mind and get you to distrust your spirit, which has nothing but the best interest at heart for you, you need to exit stage left immediately. But I am telling you, whatever transition you feel like you're in that transition. Whatever time you feel like it is, that's what time it is. And I'm not talking about emotionally. It's a difference. It's a disturbing in your spirit. You'll know it because your spirit feels disturbed. You'll know it because there's an unrest there until you do this thing that you know you need to do. You'll know it because you cannot convince yourself out of it anymore. Particularly, sometimes some of these things are things that we've been trying to talk ourselves out of, justify, because we don't want to have to make the necessary changes or the necessary cutoffs or the necessary aloneness. We don't want to do that. And so we cloud the truth by saying, oh, I'm giving this the benefit of the doubt. Or maybe it was me. Or maybe I should give it more chances. Or whatever we come up with. But you'll know it's time when you can no longer convince yourself out of this thing. You'll know it's time to do whatever decision, whatever transition you need to make, when you can no longer move furniture around to try to make it fit. You can't pivot anymore. Like, to me, that's like the dead center answer. It's like your bullseye. You have pivoted in so many ways to make this work, and it's still not working. And it's still not it, and it'll never be it, boo. Truth be told, you probably should have been transitioned from that. Truth be told, and this is not to shame you. This is really just to say you've been right. You've been right about you. But waiting for someone else to clarify that, waiting on someone else to tell you you're not crazy, waiting on someone else to validate your feelings will always have you late. You have the feeling and sensing on purpose in the timing that you're getting it, because it's in time for you. Waiting, trying to find a friend who's paying attention to you enough just to validate your feelings is a very risky choice to make. So I'm just going to end this video by saying what I started with. If you're in a space where you got to make a decision and you're just like, I'm just not sure what to do, but you know your mind and your spirit keeps going back to this thing or this idea, you'll know the truth. You might be like, I feel like I'm getting different signs everywhere. Sometimes I'm getting signs that I should stay. Sometimes I'm getting signs that I should go. Sometimes I'm getting signs that I should start. Sometimes I'm getting signs that I should be still. When you get still, the reoccurring feeling will show up. And you will know the truth by the way that it feels.